Hey guys, Infidel1258 here. Today I want to talk about my plans to buy 1000 Chaos Legion packs in the pre-sale. And I want to talk to you about my update. I've got 650 vouchers, 25 of which are being given away to the community when we do our live event. Also, we still have that beta pack. I don't have it in my possession yet, but it's coming. And we will be giving it away to somebody who either contributes to the channel as a member, who supports the Discord by boosting, or who's an active conversationalist in our Discord. The links are in the description if you want to join the Discord, if you want to become a member. And remember, there's also one of those beta packs that's going to be given away by Crypto Llama on his channel. So sign up for his Discord also. Now, what am I doing with Chaos Legion? I'm buying 1000 packs, right? I'm at least buying 1000 packs, which I'm going to buy 870 or whatever it is, and then I'll get 1000 because of the boost. Because if you buy over 500, you get 75 additional packs. I can factor that calculation in, and I don't exactly know how many packs that'll mean, but I don't need to necessarily buy 1000 to end up with 1000. So I think it's like 900 packs or something like that. So I'm either going to buy 900-ish packs, or I might even just get a full 1000 and then just enjoy that extra bonus of 115 more packs. People keep saying, why don't I just wait for the general sale? Of course, the general sale is an interesting opportunity in and of itself. But for me, I have maybe way more assets than some of you do. Maybe some way less than some of you. But I happen to be really blessed. And I have a ton of assets that are coming to me from this game. For instance, SPS, DEC daily now through some rentals. I'm making like 20 bucks a day on rental cards, and that's just a fraction of my deck that I'm renting out. So I've got these income sources, and I'm getting about 110, 120 DC per win at my rank league. So I've got these different resources, and I'm willing to take a risk on the pre-sale to take advantage of those 4 airdrops that some of you don't seem to really care about. Some people don't really like Dr. Blight. They're saying, I'd rather wait for the general sale and pay $4 a pack. I'd rather wait until after the pre-sale and get the double vouchers, because there'll be 2 vouchers after the pre-sale. And so you're just trying to save money, but I'm not focused on trying to save money. I'm trying to focus on accumulating as many assets as I can, as quickly as I can, as early as I can. I want those 4 airdrops. And I think if you go back and look at the untamed airdrops, and you see what these cards are, you can begin to understand why I'm saying what I'm saying. Diamond Dragon's like $120 per BCX. These guys are, I think, $60 to $80 per BCX. Drake of Arnak is a lot cheaper, but that's a rare summoner. And this one's like $300 per BCX. And it's entirely conceivable that people who buy during pre-sale who get 1000 packs or more are likely to get something like 30 copies of each of the first four airdrops. 30 copies. And so my eagerness to get my hands on these not these, but the first 4 airdrops that come out of the Chaos Legion, and remembering how powerful those untamed airdrops were, makes me more eager than some of you. And combine that with my extra resources, and it becomes, that's where my decision comes from. For those of you who are just coming into this and don't have like a silver deck yet, you're in a different boat. But if you're making, 500, 400 SPS a day and $20 worth of DEC a day from rentals, and, probably another $30 playing the game, not to mention monster flipping and on and on and on. If you had the resources that I had, maybe it would be a different story. And I want to talk to you for the rest of the video about the math that I can see around those airdrops. The first thing is that you have to remember that right now the vouchers to buy the vouchers, you're spending like $16.40 per voucher. And that's gone up, it's gone down. It's kind of cheap compared to where it's been, obviously. It was up above 50 over here. That's crazy. That's 50 Hive, not $50. 50 Hive per at that time. And Hive was a bit cheaper, but still it was like, I think that was roughly $25 or $30 at that time. And so now at $16 per $16.50, and with the cost of Hive, you're talking 20 Hive to buy a pack. The $19.99 Hive to buy a pack, or sorry, a voucher. And that's a lot of money, of course. It's a ton of money. Plus you have to pay for the pack. But there's a ton of different little considerations that have to be thought about when you ask yourself whether it's worth it or not. You know, you're going to get 19 Dr. Blights if you buy 1,000 packs. 19 guaranteed Dr. Blights. Then you're going to get one gold foil Dr. Blight. You're also going to get a 2% chance per pack to get one more Dr. Blight. So, you know, it's very possible, maybe even probable, that you're going to end up with like 1,000 packs. Let's see. 1,000 packs. How do I do that? Every pack is a 2% chance. So if every pack is a 2% chance, on 100 packs, you're going to get 2 copies. So you're going to get 2 times 10. You're going to get 20 more. So you're going to get, mathematically, it's quite likely, and some people will have different results, but it's quite likely you're going to get 20 for the regular airdrop from Dr. Blight. You're going to get 19 for the promised airdrops for Dr. Blight. That's 39 copies of Dr. Blight regular foil, plus the 1 gold foil. I think these are going to start to be just looking at the marketplace and looking at what legendaries are going for. 20, 25, 80, 54. Why is that one so much? Why is this one so much more expensive? I guess 1 BCX is really desired for that card. Okay. So, I mean, I think it's a lot better than Jin Bilka. And remember, these cards are being given away as rewards. Dr. Blight won't be. So I'm saying 40 bucks. 40 bucks per Dr. Blight. I might be wrong. And if I'm wrong, that's the beginning of like a miscalculation moving forward. But I think 40 bucks is probably pretty reasonable. I've compared Dr. Blight to the Lord of Fire, who's a lot more expensive than that. I've compared him to forget who else. I guess he's a bit like Fallen Spectre, low mana, lots of utility, lots of support. So I think it's definitely, Dr. Blight is a very functional and going to be relatively expensive. So I think 40 bucks is very cheap. If he comes out at 40 bucks, I would even consider buying more copies. And that's because all these monsters are way more than that. It's like there are 2 copies of a legendary card that are that cheap. The rest of these are more expensive. That's why I would buy more copies. Not to mention, I think it's a good card. So if we took 39 copies that I would expect to get, and we times that by $40, right off the bat, you've got $1,560 that you're going to get just from your Dr. Blights. But remember, you're not just going to get the promo card Dr. Blight. You're going to get, after the pre-sale, you're going to get the first airdrop in addition to the promo airdrop. So it's promo airdrop, it's the first regular airdrop, and then before the general sale occurs, what's going to happen? There's going to be 2 more million packs sold before the general sale. So take us up to, that'll be 3 million packs, and that'll be the first 4 airdrops. Dr. Blight, first regular airdrop, second regular airdrop, third regular airdrop. So I'm going to get 4 airdrops that some of you people waiting for the general sale won't. And the math is going to be sort of close. Like it's going to be, there are going to be a certain, for every one of those airdrops, there's going to be a certain number of guaranteed cards I'm going to get because I buy 1,000 packs. Because you buy 50 or 60 packs, you get 1. It's something like that. The math is roughly 60 packs, I think. Dr. Blight is 50, but other cards it'll have different guaranteed rates. And so I think I said 39 copies of Dr. Blight, but if I said 30 copies of each of those other 3 airdrops that you're not going to get, I think that's pretty reasonable. And I believe that each of them will be, at least to start with, on average, like they might all be different prices. But I think some of them, again, remember what these cards were. What, not there. Remember what the Untamed airdrop cards were. Diamond Dragon, 150 bucks. What's that one called again? Gloridax Guardian, $82 per BCX. What else? Mimosa's $300, and Drake. What's Drake going for? Summoners. Drake is going for only 11 bucks. But you would get more copies of Drake because he was a lower rarity. That's how it goes. Like a legendary, you're going to get fewer guaranteed copies. A rare, you're going to get more guaranteed copies. So I'm going to say, and these are basic numbers, but I'm going to call it $40 per BCX that I receive. And I'm going to say 30 copies of each. So that would be, 30 copies of each other airdrop times 3 other airdrops, 90 more cards, times $40 per. That's another $3,600 that I'm going to get that you can't. Then there's the title. I'm going to get a title for having bought 1,000 packs. I'm going to get that Legionnaire title. And that Legionnaire title is 100,000 airdrop points. Now, I've already established, and I stand by the math, that 300 airdrop points is going to be equivalent to roughly 6.57, call it 7 SPS for the duration of the full SPS airdrop. I know that the math might not work out exactly like that, but I believe it's going to be roughly that value. And it could be more depending on how DEC factors in, how many people are spending their DEC to buy packs, and so on. But 100,000 airdrops divided by 300 equals 333 portions times 7 SPS. So I believe the title is going to give me, by the time of the end of the airdrop, is going to give me 2,300 SPS. So again, $1,500 for my Dr. Blights. That's not counting my gold foil, by the way. $3,600 for my other 3 airdrops. That's not counting any gold foils, by the way. 2,300 SPS for just my title. And then there's more SPS, right? Because I'm going to be getting, for at least a month and probably a half, because today is November 7th, and the general sale will begin around middle of December. So call it 5 weeks, even heck, call it 1 month. That I'm gonna hold 1,000 packs for a period of time that you guys aren't, until that general sale opens, and I'm gonna get airdrop points for that. And again, if it's 7 SPS. There's 261 days remaining in the airdrop. So 261, or 30 rather, divided by, no, not 30, because it's 37. 37 days until the general sale, divided by 261 remaining days. That's how many percentage of days of the remaining airdrop, 14% of the remaining airdrop, I will have 1,000 packs and you won't. That'll be 300 airdrops, 3 points per pack times that amount. So I said 7, this is the percentage of time times the 7 SPS that I'm expecting per pack. So I'm going to get roughly 1 SPS per pack times my 1,000 packs. It'll actually be more than 1,000 packs, because I'll buy 1,000, and then I'll get. But I'm just going to call it 1,000 right now. That's where my math is. So 0.99 SPS per pack for the remainder until general sale times 1,000 packs equals 992. SPS from holding my packs for the next 5 weeks, from November 7th until December 15th, when the general sale begins. Okay, that's not when the general sale begins. My bad. That's only when the packs are openable. It was actually way bigger than that, isn't it? Because the general sale is December 15th, is when they said that we can open the packs. That's not when the general sale is going to begin. And so the general sale is going to be 2 months after that, when they get through the next 2 million, roughly. It'll be 2 rough months, depending on how long it takes to sell those packs. And remember, we'll be getting double SPS. We'll be getting double vouchers, and therefore it might move quicker. But I think this is probably, at least I can double this, because it's not going to be December 15th. It might be January 15th. It might even be one more times this. It's hard to say. Depends how fast those packs move. But that's another 2,000 SPS that I can get from just holding my packs unopened from the time I buy them, which is during pre-sale, until the time that I open them, which is at least, I'm saying here, is at least after the general sale begins. Okay, so that's another almost 2,000 SPS. And then we have to calculate the gold foils. The gold foils. For the Dr. Blight, I can expect that I'm going to get one for sure, and I think probably two. I think, in fact, I'm going to say two for each of the airdrops. That's 8 gold foils. How much are each gold foil worth? Hard to say, isn't it? But again, if we rely on the untamed data, you know, if we look for a gold diamond dragon. That's going for $2,100, or even a high bid of 1,000. Floridax, and that's, I remember I'm gonna get 2 of those. Floridax, going for going for a high bid of 1,000 or a low buy of 5,500. So do you see, like, even if I only got one of each of these cards, do you see how important these each could be? And it would take time for the value to reach these points. But the fact that I'm guaranteed to receive that gold Dr. Blight, even if you assumed it wasn't going to be that good. But before we move on to that, let's see what gold Mimosa is worth. I'm telling you, it's crazy. No results found. Probably there's none on the market. Summoner, gold, death, gold Mimosa, $10,000. High bid of 1,800. Look at that, $10,000. High bid of 1,800. It's hard to say what the real value is in that situation because, you know, this guy who's making a bid isn't going to go up to 10,000. This guy who's at 10,000 is not going to go to 1,800. What's the real value? I don't know. The last one sold was 2,500. The point is, these are worth thousands of dollars. And you might argue that the untamed cards were particularly special. I doubt that. I really think that if you look at untamed and then compare it to dice, you can see that they are equally amazing. And then I think if you go back to beta, you can say that there's some amazing betas there that are set apart and really special. So I really believe that the new Chaos Legion are going to offer some amazing overpowered monsters, and the airdrops will include those. So I think in like a year or two, these are what I'm going to be holding as a product of making the choice now to spend $1,000, to spend 1,000 vouchers. And it's going to be tens of thousands of dollars. And these cards are priceless because there are so few of them, and the rental opportunities with these things, and it's crazy. It's just crazy. And so I think this is hard to quantify, but if I just took a huge step back so if this happens, let's say this first of all, if this is the sort of airdrop that I'm receiving by having made this choice, everyone who didn't buy pre-sale will regret it. If I'm going to receive a Mimosa Nightshade caliber legendary summoner in one of those first 4 airdrops, you guys will all wish that you bought the pre-sale, because you will wish, especially at 1,000 packs or more. If that's your monetary situation, you will wish you had made that choice. If you could have made that choice, not all of you can even have this as an option. So for those of you who 1,000 packs is just totally out of the ballpark, not even possible, that's fine. But for some of you, it's possible, but you're not willing to take that leap of faith and invest that sort of money. This is my thinking. Remember, this is how I'm in that position where I can make this decision, and I'm asking why. What should I do, this way or that way? Yes, 1,000 packs pre-sale, or no, save it, sell the vouchers, and all that. But if this is the sort of caliber of card I'm gonna get in a year, I'll be so glad that I did it. And I'm pretty convinced that they'll be as good or equal to Mimosa Nightshade caliber. Not all of them. Probably one of them will be like that, the Drake of Arnak, which is still a fine card at $150 per BCX. It's a fine card, and I expect to get a couple of those. And again, remember, because a card like that, if that's one of the first 4 airdrops, it's a blue, meaning rare. You'll get more copies than you would of the copies of a legendary. So I like the odds of that. But then forget about that for a second. Let's assume it's not quite that good. Like some of these legendary gold foils are really a lot cheaper, like 200, 400, 450 bucks, 460 bucks, 560 bucks. This is an excellent card. What if all you got out of the airdrops was something like that? Would that be sufficient? You know, call it 500 bucks for these cheapest. These are the 3 cheapest gold foil legendaries. And if we look at the airdrops, legendary, 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 rare. So the first 4 were 3 of them were legendary. And look at this: legendary, 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 epic, I think, legendary, epic, epic, legendary. Is that no? That's common. And then I think rare. So most of them are legendary. My point is, I expect the first 4 to 3 of them be legendary. And so if we look at these legendary cards and we say that these are the cheapest ones in the game right now, and they're only cheap really because they're in print. They're being given away for free through the rewards, but they won't be cheap forever. They'll eventually be some of these cards up here. I'm confident of that. You might disagree, but I am. And if I assume that my 4 airdrops that I'm going to get buying the 1,000 packs are going to be in this range of say 400 bucks at pop, that's still a good amount of money. Like I said, 8 gold foils I would expect, and we times that by 400 US dollars, we're up to $3,200. That's for my gold foils on all of the 4 gold foils. So we're beginning to put together the picture. We had, I think 39 Dr. Blight's regular foil, 2 Dr. Blight gold foils, probably 30 copies of each of the other airdrops, calling them, I think I said calling them 40 bucks each. They had the SPS for the title, and the title is mine for good, so it'll be for the full airdrop. And I calculated, I think 1984 SPS for the period of holding my packs until the general sale. And that's one of the next questions, like how much is SPS worth? Right now, of course, SPS is down around 53 cents. We said 1984 SPS, and we said 2300. So if we went 2300, I'm going to do a new calculator. 2333 plus 1984. That's going to be 4,300 SPS for my title and for holding my packs at least until the general sale. And it could be more because the general sale, I don't know exactly when the general sale will begin, but I think I was being conservative by saying around January. That's what my math is roughly approximating. Okay, so 4,300, and we do that times 0.52. That's $2,200 for the SPS. So we've got, let's get it all, pull it all together now. We got 2244 for the SPS value, and that's based on today's value, which I don't really believe is going to be the long run value, plus 1560, which is the cost of the Dr. Blight regular foils. Then the 3600, which is the cost of the other cards I'm going to receive, the 3 other airdrops at the regular foil. Then 3200 was the cost of the 8 gold foil cards I expect to receive, including my Dr. Blights. So we're up to $10,600 that I'm expecting to receive from, that's just before, like up until the general sale. So call it $11,000. And there's a lot of wiggle in there. I might get fewer copies, I might get more copies. Some of these cards might be super expensive, they might also be less expensive. Initially they're going to come out at a lower price, and you might want to say I should count it at that value. But then there's also, if I'm going to hold them for years and years, why don't I begin to imagine what they would be in a few years? Like that Mimosa Nightshade is like a year old now, and it's $10,000. So you see how quickly this number could go from 11,000 to even, 80,000 because of those legendary, the 8 gold foil legendaries I mentioned. Or I don't know if they're all legendary, but the 8 gold foils I mentioned. I think 6 of them will probably be legendary and 2 of them will probably be less. But each of those could be $2,000 each, not $400 each. And that would change this math dramatically. And then there's the cards in the packs. There's the resellability of the pack. I could still sell the Chaos Legion packs at that point once the general sale begins if I wanted to. And I'm going to take slightly less value, but I could then reinvest. Like even if I sold them for $3 at that point, I've taken advantage of that SPS for that period of time, and I could reinvest it into new Chaos Legion packs. And so there's just so much trickle down math that make it exciting and interesting. Or I could keep my Chaos Legion packs until the full pre-sale unopened, until the full SPS sale airdrop is over, taking advantage of 7 SPS per pack. I calculated 1900 SPS, but it would actually be closer to 7,000. So that would be another 5,000 SPS. That's another 2,500. If I hold these packs until the end of the entire SPS sale airdrop, it's now worth, assuming it's still SPS is still 50 cents, it's 13,000. And so and then how much is SPS really worth? Is it worth 50 cents? Is it worth $5? Is it worth 5 cents? There's a lot of variables here. But for a person who has the assets, for a person who has recently said, oh, I'm going to take half of my SPS, which they're giving me for free, and reinvest it in this way, right? So it's not like I'm taking 18. How much does 1,000 vouchers cost? I said 1650, right? Each right now. I don't need 1,000 vouchers though. So if I want 1,000 packs, I think it was 870. What was it? So if you buy 500, you get 75. Okay, so if I want to buy 870, look at, if I buy 870 packs, I'm going to get 130 for free. So all I need is 870 vouchers, not 1,000. So I need to buy 870 vouchers to do this situation that I just described. And that's going to cost me $16.50. In fact, it's less than that. I've been buying them for $13.50, $14.50 mostly. And as you can see, I already have 650, and I'm going to earn another 100 before the airdrop is done. And so I need to buy 100 more, and it looks like they're about $16.50 now. So even if you bought them all today, you know, you're looking at $14,000 worth of vouchers. And like I said earlier, I think it's very easy to get to 13,000 for the value of each of the pre-sale. Buying for each 1,000 packs that you're going to buy pre-sale, I think this is the intrinsic value. And this is me being as bearish as I possibly can, because I think SPS is worth more than 52 cents. And I think the packs will appreciate by the time the sale is over. I think the legendaries and the airdrops will be worth way more than the numbers I quoted here. These are just introductory numbers. They'll quickly escalate in value, and then they'll turn a corner and they'll be so expensive, especially the gold foils. So I think I'm taking a little risk. I think I'm taking probably like a $2,000 gamble that these legendaries and these airdrops are going to change my financial future. That's what I think. I think I'm taking like a $2,000 gamble by investing in the vouchers I need to get 1,000 packs. Plus there's other things, like I'm already a Maverick on my other account, but I'll be a Maverick on my main account because that's where I'm going to buy these things. And I have the like just the excitement about being kind of an early adopter in that respect. Some of you guys who come in later are going to be, you know, that's going to be something I'm going to look back and be like, yeah, I believed in this game. That's how much I believed in this game. And I'm going to be proud of that because I see myself as like understanding where this is going. And so, yeah, is it risky? And would it be, you know, easier or maybe cheaper to buy 1,000 packs when the general sale begins? Cheaper for sure. That'd be $4,000. But you're not going to get any bonus packs, and you won't have SPS discounts, and you won't get the airdrops that I'm talking about, and you won't get, right? So it's not just black and white, this way's good, that way's bad. It's like there are very different roads in front of you. You can go over here and spend a lot more money, but be that early adopter and invest in it. I want to do that for, the excitement of it, for the opportunity around it. But I understand that option 2 is interesting in its own way, and I will likely buy another 1,000 packs or more when they go to general sale, assuming they don't sell out instantly. I hope, and on that point, I hope that the general sale lasts months and months and months, because that would mean that I would personally be in there every day buying more and more and more packs. The faster it is, the fewer packs I'm going to be able to accumulate. But I have a feeling that it's going to be a very fast general sale. And I sincerely hope I'm wrong, because I want the ecosystem and the economy to grow in a more modest way. I don't want to see the spike that happened after Untamed packs sold out. Because when these packs sell out, what's going to happen is the monster value on the marketplace is going to go crazy again. It's slowed down recently a little bit. It's still going crazy. It's still going absolutely crazy. It's gone up like 50%. It went up from like 10,000 to 100. My deck went up from 10,000 to 100,000, then down to 70,000, and now it's up to 140,000. That's a huge yo-yo. That's a crazy amount of price action. But I think it could go double again or quadruple, because not only will I have those Chaos Legion cards we're talking about, but I think once the Chaos Legion packs are sold out, people who are desperate to get a foot in this ecosystem are going to be eagerly, almost panicked to acquire as many assets as they can. Between the future, like, I'm renting out, this is a side point, but it points to my general confidence with the stability and the future of card value. Long run, medium run, that's how I feel. That there's going to be stability of prices, and this game, these cards will be an amazing asset long run. And one of the reasons I say that is because, like, look, just the other day I started renting out my blue deck and my green deck. Those are my two least favorite decks. I'm making 2,300 DEC a day, and I have the rest of the cards. If they all rent, it'll be 3,000 DEC a day. That's $30. That's $23, 24. No, it's about $25 a day, US, that I'm going to be earning for maybe the rest of my life. Like, these are just, and that's a fraction of my deck. And my deck is about to get a lot bigger with these Chaos Legion cards. And what that will do for my rental incomes. And then there's land that's going to come along, and you're going to need monsters to farm that land. And you're going to need not just common little cheap ones, because they won't be as productive on the land. So people are going to want the legendaries, and that's going to make them even more rare. And the gold foils, and that's going to make them even more rare. And what does that do to the prices? Of course it drives them up, up, up. And then eventually I think SPS is going to be $5 or more, and that could be years away. I'll say that could be the next bull run, maybe. But I just don't want to bet against this game. That's how I feel. I feel like me buying 1,000 packs, first of all, that comes out of a place of wealth. Like, I happen to have the assets, so I can do it. I know not everybody can. I'm blessed in that way. Second of all, I see what this game is, and I want to put my money where my mouth is. And third, to the people who keep thinking I'm just suggesting that the general sale, I'm ignoring the general sale. I'm not. I don't give it a 0% chance that will sell out immediately. And when I say immediately, I mean, it could be 2 weeks, it could be 2 months. That's relatively immediately. Because if it sells out even in 2 months, you're going to, after the first day or two, or, after the first week for sure, there's going to be airdrops you've missed. So unless you have all of your money, like a big pile of money ready to go on day one, I think there's a distinct possibility that you'll miss the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th airdrop. Who knows how many? It depends how long it takes you to get in there. But I don't think it's going to be months and months and months. It might be 2 months. But even if it's 2 months, that means probably every week there's another million packs sold. And every week there's a new airdrop. And that's another, so, unless you have all your money in on day one, you're going to miss another couple airdrops. So the math gets worse, right? The math I showed you today is based on the first 4 airdrops, you missing those. If you miss the 5th airdrop, the 6th airdrop, the 7th, because you're accumulating money and you're hoping to dollar cost average into a big position, I just don't think there's a lot of time for that. And that's my view and my position, and I could be wrong. But I don't think I'm overestimating the values here. I think if anything, I'm grossly underestimating the value of the cards that I'm going to be receiving and the value of the assets I'm going to be receiving through the choice of having purchased 1,000 pre-sale packs. That's my thinking on the matter. Let me know in the comments below what you think. I'm certainly going to buy general sale packs, so don't get it twisted and think that I think that's a bad idea. That's a wonderful idea. It's just a different idea, and I'm doing this and that. Okay. Thanks guys for your time and attention. Have an amazing day. God bless.